This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are excited to have Debra Hodgen joining us here, Hodgen joining us, I should say. She's joining us today live to talk more about the work she's doing, which I hope you all find fascinating because I do, as a biodynamic craniosacral therapist at Debra Hodgen Wellness. She's joining us live today from Carlsbad, California. How are you?
Good. It's a beautiful day here. Lots of birds outside.
Oh, good, good, good. Well, thank you for being here, for joining us. We're excited to talk about this work that you're doing. And just for those new time
Yes.
listeners, obviously, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I got my bachelor's degree in dance at UCLA, and little by little, I moved over to other things. And I teach yoga and private yoga, and I do craniosacral therapy as well. It's a very rewarding modality. I feel like a lot of people get a lot of benefit from it, so
Eh,
it
Good.
makes me happy to work with it.
Well, tell us what it is. Not everybody may be aware of what it is, how it
Right.
works, and of course, the
So,
benefits.
yeah, years ago were osteopaths and osteopaths would work the bones of the body and try to find alignment and any might make a person uncomfortable. And over time, a couple of the osteopaths started noticing that there was a movement within these bones and a movement with body. And more as time's gone by, cranial therapists have taken on that knowledge, expand on it. And so we feel for rooms in the body. We look for places where the body is a little stuck. And it can be a physical thing or it can be an emotional thing.
Hmm. Fascinating. I want to learn more about it. But before we go into that and the healing and the work that you can do, I would love to find out more about you. Could you share a little bit about where you're from, how you got in this field, and a little bit of your backstory?
Okay, so I live in San Diego County. I was raised in Los Angeles, and I was a dancer and a performer, and then I had children. And the way I got into craniosacral therapy was someone I knew at a meditation center saw my son kind of running around and not being very settled. And she said, I could help you. I could help him. And so I went to lessons with her, and I stayed in the room when she was giving those sessions to him. And I could feel it myself in my own body as she was working with him. And she really did help him begin to calm his system down, organize what he was doing. So then I got sessions and I found them very beneficial to me. You know, I went all the way back as a child and found ways I had of dealing with the world. And then one day, she asked if I could help her write a brochure for her next training session. And so I did. I went to her house and helped her. As I was going over this material, I thought, I want to do this. I want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And it just took off from there. And I began the training, and then I had to move to New York for 3 years. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to end up doing it. When I came back, I started the program all over again. So I had the first few lessons 3 times. And then I started to take the classes. It takes 2 years to become a
Okay.
certified craniosacral therapist. And then over time, I've assisted my teacher in sessions. So I feel like I've gotten the information again. And what craniosacral does is it helps to integrate the body, because sometimes we feel a little scattered or we can feel stressed. So that's the area that I feel is the most powerful, because massages, I love it. Acupuncture, lots of different ways of working with people, but craniosacral goes into a very, very subtle place in the body and helps people feel better in their body.
Well, I'm excited to find out, more about this. And then I read about all your meditation, right? Because you were teaching meditation. You were helping a lot of children and teens and all as well. I mean, pretty fascinating because I know
Yes,
you say, watching your students kind of blossom into their full potential. And now, when did so you
absolutely.
were into meditation and yoga, right? And then how did you discover biodynamic craniosacral therapy, by the way?
Just from taking my son to my teacher, she had said she'd help him. So okay. And that was really my first actual introduction to it. I knew about it vaguely, but sitting in sessions and actually being able to feel what was happening in my body surprised me when I wasn't the one on the table. And maybe it was a
On to,
combination
yeah.
of her and my son, so yeah. So I would say that's where it is. And then through with the training, we read a lot and discover a lot of what the potential is. Sometimes we treat people who have had accidents or injuries or long time illnesses, and sometimes people just want to be more relaxed, less stressed out, and just have a sense of well-being. And it's great for that too, or a combination of things.
Got it. Well, I would love to hear it now. You mentioned this reduction of pain, reduction of,
Reduction of pain, yes.
yes, and
Um,
relaxation. I want to hear.
yes. A lot of times, people lay on the table. We find a comfortable, relaxed position for them to lie down. And there's such a wide range of people. Some really love being touched, and it's a very light touch that we do. And some people prefer not to be. And this work can be done without even touching a person's body. I do it also remotely, where it can be done. They're in their home, I'm in mine, or in my office, and the process can go on. And so what we're doing is we're helping people tune into what feels good. We'll maybe place our hands on an area of the body
Mm-hmm.
that is tense or tight or sore and pain. And as we connect to that cranial energy,
Yep.
that part that's bothering the client begins to soften, relax, and integrate with the other parts of the body.
Wow. And
It's good for sleep. Uh,
ah,
I think when you're deeply relaxed, it teaches the body to just have more of a deep rest.
and you mentioned, may everyone be free of pain and suffering, recognize their own divinity, and live with ease of heart.
Yes.
Could you share how this works and how many sessions do people normally need?
Occasionally someone might come in just because they've been in a car accident and they've got a little bit of a neck issue, or Someone might have some stress based around family members.
Mm-hmm.
And many times, I would say the least amount would be 3 sessions. Sometimes one time helps, but I would say 3 is the least. And then I have some clients that come fairly regularly, and they have been for years.
Mm-hmm.
And it just depends. And some people don't have the ability to open up to the work right away. So the first session, there may be a little bit of a wall there because they're not used to just letting go and feeling safe. So sometimes it takes a little longer for them to get the drift of what we're doing. And other people are fine right away. I had a client who was a career military, and he came for sessions because he had a lot of little things in his body that were bothering him. He was in his 50s, I would say. And after the session, which is usually an hour or an hour and a half, he got off the table and he said, "This is the first time in my life
Mm-hmm.
I felt relaxed." And when you think about that, being on the planet for 50 years, and that's the first time you've been relaxed, that says something.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
I know.
this is, I know, your first show with us, and there's so much that I know we want to cover. And can I ask, just, a little bit more about, some of the notes that we discussed earlier? I didn't know if you want to share some more of that. Is there anyone that credit for this? Are you mentoring anyone as well?
Um, well, my teacher that I studied with, I also assist her now in trainings. Her name's Peggy Reynolds. Um, she's probably been the most encouraging, and I feel like I've gotten the most from her. And the Craniosacral organization does every 2 years they do a conference. So at the conference, we hear different lectures and try different things ourselves. So, and now they're doing it on Zoom. So the conference can be going on, and if you're not able to get there physically, you can take the classes live on Zoom, which is very helpful. So I would say all the people, all the people to some degree are a support of the practice and how it's done. And I have a bit of an intuition with people. And when I was learning craniosacral, my teacher said, you want to just do the fundamentals of what you're doing. You don't want to kind of get into your psychic thing. So I learned not to use it. But then once you've taken the whole program, some of that just naturally will come in. I'll have very strong visions sometimes of when people were children or even prenatal.
Yeah.
And that I don't always share everything with the client, but that
Mm,
does give me a little bit more of an understanding and a foundation of who they are and what might help them.
got it. Well, also, with this healing modality and, you know, um, can you share a little bit about some of the clients that you've worked on and what did they say and how you've helped
Um,
them?
well, I have one client that's been coming to me for a while actually, and she's going through a divorce and some other things. And I think being able to hold space is what I call it. There's an energetic way of holding space so people aren't defensive or feeling kind of scared. And I had another client that couldn't let go of certain past things. And I felt like I helped her by that balance and that integration. Also,
Yeah.
I had a couple clients that have wanted to get pregnant, and by tuning into them and what they need, very often we can let go of the blocks that might get in the way of that experience. And everyone that came, I mean, I don't advertise myself that way, but every one of them were able to become pregnant. And I know it's because of the work we did and the dedication they had as well.
That is amazing. I went through IVF. I had many fertility
Uh-huh.
issues. My goodness. And I
Yeah.
was blessed to be able to finally get pregnant, but I can only imagine how hard that is for so many I know. And
Yeah.
didn't realize this, this could help. Wow.
Yeah.
What other things can it help with? I would love to hear more stories. Or again, it's your show. If you want to talk about something else, you can, of course.
Um, well, very often, I mean, I have a tendency before I meet someone or before I start working with them, there's always a little bit of something in me that's sort of, are you going to be able to do this? Are you going to be able to make a difference? Just a little bit of that. And then it's such a good feeling when through the session, the person gets deeper and deeper into that
Mm-hmm.
process. I mean, it's everything from even things like allergies and different illnesses. I have worked with someone that has Parkinson's disease, and I would say that the benefit has been moderate, but it's such a difficult disease to live with that I think anything that helps the system is a great thing. And it can even be used prenatally in young children. A lot of times when babies are born, there might be something a little bit not quite lined up, a little bit off. And working with them with craniosacral can make such a big difference. It's sort of like a Jenga. If you get the bottom blocks nice and solid, then you can get taller and taller. And that's the way I feel it is with children. Um, you can create an alignment in their body, physically, mentally, and emotionally, that helps them go forward. And it's
Well,
enjoyable. I mean, just lying on this table and getting into a deeper and deeper relaxation. And sometimes when you are relaxing, you might feel a discomfort in a certain area. And when I place my hands on that area, it reorganizes and heals itself. So I'm not really doing it. I'm just allowing the body to do it and hold space for doing it. Because the body has a wisdom.
my goodness. Well, we let me ask, how do you use it on yourself? How do you?
I do occasionally, sometimes I've been having a little bit of vertigo and I'll just sort of put my hands on my neck or and use it on my jaw. And I don't think it's as great when you use it on yourself. I mean, it does work, but I think it's the best when you're sharing it with somebody else. But I do get benefit sometimes just putting my hands on my heart, my chest. If I get some bad news or something, it can, and I've used it on my pets. I've used it on animals, and they seem to like it a lot. I've
Beautiful.
I've been with people when they've had to, put their dog to sleep or something, and I'll hold space for the person and for the animal.
Got it.
And we can always use that.
Well, for today, what else did you want to make sure you cover for today?
I guess I'd just like to invite people to give this a try. And even if they live in other states, that remote work is very powerful as well. I think and it's sort of like trying to tell some people like to swim if they've never a lake. It's kind of part of it. And craniosacral that is when you haven't had it's hard to really describe the experience. Very different experience. So I would just say to try and see what your experience.
Mm. Well, the work that you're doing, let me just ask, specifically, is this stuff that could be done virtually, or is it only in person in your area?
No, it's definitely done virtually, and it takes a little bit more understanding for the person to know they can, relax in their recliner and get quiet, and the energy can still work in the same way. The experience on the table is probably a little easier or a little more, more real for someone that hasn't had it before. But I've had very good results with people that have worked with me remotely.
Perfect. Well, everyone who is listening who, may want to try this and benefit from the biodynamic craniosacral therapy, could you share how we can contact you?
You can go to my website, Debra, Debra, Hodgen, Hodgen.com, and there'll be several pages there that explain what the work is and so forth. And there is a page that does have my phone number and how to reach me.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you, getting to meet you,
You.
and thank you for the work you're doing and sharing, with our viewers and listeners. So, one more time, you say, may everyone be free of pain and
May,
suffering.
may everyone,
Recognize.
may everyone everywhere be free of pain and suffering and recognize their own divinity
Beautifully said.
and
Thank
live
you
with
so
ease
much.
of heart.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you
You're
have a
welcome.
fantastic day. Bye bye, sweetheart. We'll
Thank
talk soon, I
you.
hope. Thank you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.